Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. Hope everybody is doing well out there. Another day in the office, as it were. Now we're going to be covering most of the market majors. That is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. We're going to go through the top 100. Excuse me, as we always do. We're going to get into Pulsechain. We're going to talk about some news from LibertySwap, and then we're going to do a little bit of a look around and see what else is out there. We're going to do that live. We're also going to talk about Ondo reaching some major milestones with perpetuals in just a day or so. It's pretty crazy numbers. We're going to get into that. We're going to look at a little deep dive into Treasury's Scott Bessent and some analysis there via Tom Lee and others. So we're going to get to that as well. So that should be cool. And what else? Let's see where we go. We're going to briefly look at the Treasury stuff as well. So we've got a bit of everything. But certainly a big month expected for Pulsechain with LibertySwap and many other relatively blue chip projects expected to launch in July. It could be a real turning point for the old Pulsechain. So we're going to get into that as well. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's pretty cool. Now I did just want to make a little comment just about Squirrel Swap later on. So we'll talk about that when we get to Pulsechain. And of course, if you guys didn't check out my video yesterday on AI and tokenization and things like that on what else we do? We did Web3 and we did AI, real world assets, and that we did those four topics yesterday on the video. So we did a second live stream. Check it out. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. Hope you guys did too. Maybe we'll look at it later on at the end of the show. Pretty exciting stuff. All right, so big shout out. We got some influencers out there in the Pulsechain community doing some good content. So big shout out to Crypto Coffee, Somi out there. I think still doing all of his usual stuff. We've got C7 out there doing some good stuff on a regular basis. I think I saw an RH Max. He'd been sort of quiet for a while, but I think we saw him do a live stream in the last week, maybe as well. Who else is out there doing some stuff? Fat Sammy. I don't know if Fat Sammy's done something recently. Maybe he has. But all those guys doing a great job. Who else is in the space? We've obviously got DeFi on Xspace getting a lot of support now. So this is what I'm talking about with consistency. People in the community start picking it up and recognizing it and getting out there. So DeFi on Pulsechain there, run by the True DeFi team with Neil, really starting to get that support. I thought that was exciting over the last 24 hours. So some cool stuff happening there. Who else is out there? Obviously, St. Wolf, I think he's done a video recently, hasn't he? So people like that. So, they're doing some good stuff. So onwards and upwards, Onwards and upwards. Let's get into it. So let's talk about the stock market. And don't forget to get in the comments. Always love it when people get in the comments there. And if you're on X, don't forget to hit the repost button on the X show so that everyone else comes in and we get a big community in here. So normally we have pretty decent numbers, so you can boost those numbers. And let's see how we go. It's all about winning, right? Hashtag winning in the old market there. Let's jump into the stock market. Without further ado, we've got US stock futures steady. Well, yeah, they're pretty steady, just up slightly green. 77,484 on the US 500. And of course, we got renewed attacks of Iran. Now, we talked about this, right? So trying to do deals with the devil, as it were. These guys are pretty crazy. They're not just, like extremists. They're trying to usher in the end of the world, right? So they got an apocalyptic worldview, and that's from their Quran, and so that's where they're going, right? They want to usher that in, and that's what we're about. So it's pretty crazy trying to do a deal with some pretty crazy people, even though they've taken out all the top leadership. They're down to still, so many levels of leadership. Think about it. The IRGC is, let's say it's about 10% of the population. That's a lot of people, right? 90 million people. It's 9 million people out of 19 million. It's pretty crazy. And you only need a small few thousand of really, really crazy ones that are controlling the place. So you see how it's sort of difficult to deal with things. So Trump today he did a little gaggle on the airplane. He was talking about doing a 20 for 1. So every time Iran did something, they'll do 20 times more, something like that. So there we go. Now, we know Iran doesn't have much of an air force left. We know they try to put back in some of their air defense. We know the Chinese are working with them, helping them do stuff like that. They attacked a couple of ships. I think it was 3 ships as well overnight. And so the Americans have hit back there as well. So obviously there's a lot of intel. As time goes on, American Intel gets better, not worse. It will be getting better, not worse. So for all the little tricks that the IGC will be trying to do, the Intel gathering will be pretty huge from the Americans and the Israelis there moving forward. Obviously, he was also in NATO today in Turkey. Sounds like that was a pretty good session. Seems like they got NATO much back on page, let's say. So that may end up being a positive stuff moving forward. Trump seemed pretty happy about that compared to prior. Also around Spain, which he was almost about to end the relations with. Looks like they got back on the phone and did some common sense. Remember, Spain's got this radical left, leaders, and they're destroying Spain. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So you've got all these sort of variables going on in the world. It really is quite a shake-up time. And then Trump's trying to fix up a lot of the problems that progressives and liberals have put into the West over the last couple of decades, particularly the last 10 years. There's a lot going on there. Hey, welcome, Blair. Hi, all. Good to see you, Blair. Welcome to the chat. So let's have a look at the stock market. We were down 1% on the Dow Jones. Remember, the Dow Jones is kind of like the top 30 industrials. We're down 576 points to 52,348. If we look at sort of the little mini chart we got over here, I think you guys can see. I've just moved to the 6-month chart just to give you an idea. And you can see, we're just off the top there. Let's maybe go to the month because we're just coming off the record highs. So we're just off the record highs just on Tuesday. So we're covering Wednesday's data. So just yesterday was the record highs for the Dow Jones. So we've got a big pullback today of 576 points, which is 1%. But we're only just off the record high yesterday. So it's pretty crazy, right? Pretty crazy. We've got the S&P 500, which is kind of the main index that, if you were going to do, we just saw Trump launch this, Children America program. I can't remember what it's called, but basically giving children investment when they're like born, and then going for just building up their superannuation basically when they're born, which is a great idea. And typically you'd probably just put that money in the S&P. Now, of course, we would argue maybe you should be putting 1 or 2% at least in Bitcoin, but in any case, they will be. S&P is kind of the traditional accepted mark there, and most people don't beat it, right? Most hedge fund managers don't beat it, etc. So S&P 500 there looking pretty good, and so that's something that's pretty interesting. Now we've got Nasdaq at the moment with all the tech companies with the AI theme. It is actually still up 1/5%, 52 points overnight. So it's the green, 25,870, and we can see that we're just off the all-time highs back on the 15th of June there on Monday. 26,660. So that's pretty cool. And you can see on the year chart there. Sorry, I just corrected that there. So actually the 4th of June. So it's a little bit while back there. On Thursday, we had 26,830. So we're at about 1,000 points down from there at the moment on Nasdaq, but still a really nice little modest increase there today. US dollar is at 100.75. We've seen that appreciate recently. You can see that appreciation here. This is the last year of this chart. You can see it appreciate there. And when Trump came in, it was 108. But looks like they've been trying to strengthen that dollar with the old oil deals, and of course, hopefully with the Genius Act and stable coins, right? Continuing to give a lot of buy pressure for securities. We do see a bit of weakness in a few other countries. Japan, obviously, a lot of questions there with their bond market. And we've seen hopefully that won't have any cascading impacts. Obviously, in the past it has. We've got the old, Japanese US yen trade as well. So we've got lots of stuff going on there. Let's jump over to the commodities. Commodities at the moment, we've got West Texas obviously up on the Iranian conflict re-emerging, 1%, 70 cents to $74. So it's quite a big increase there. We look at the last month where we were actually starting to go down. We got down to $67.77, basically back to where we were a year ago. So we're back up now at 74. We look at the year chart. We're clearly above where we were a year ago there. So a bit of a still impacting the markets as the old Strait of Hormuz there. Brent oil up 1% as well, $78.78, up about 75 cents. And you can see even though we rolled over, we're back up a bit getting here on the turmoil. Gold at the moment sitting around $4,087, up $5. And of course that's rolled over. And just sitting at a very critical line here between, above 4,000, basically, above 4,000. Silver is up 0.25%, 14 cents to $58.68. and that's pretty much on the on the safety line as well. It breaks through this, and down we go to maybe $50. That's a big fall, right? $50. So yeah, we'll be watching out for that. $50, yeah, $50. So $58, that'd be $8 down. So there we go. All right, so that is the commodities. Let's see if we've got anything in the update here. Not really. You guys know we talked about the economic news calendar coming up, so we'll quickly look at that just to wrap things up. So this week, let's see. So we had ISM non-manufacturing PMI 54. So that was a bit of a still expansion. So we're still looking pretty good there, but slightly below forecast. Slightly down from the previous month as well. Anything over 50 is expansion on these manufacturings. So US is expanding and has been for about 5 months now, I think. And prior to that, was for about 2 years, it was contracting. So it was really bad. But under Trump, it's finally getting there. What else? They've got the FOMC meetings that are out as well. That probably impacted the market as well. I think it was, I'm just trying to remember, was it 13 presidents were talking about wanting to raise interest rates. So that was, shuttled the markets a bit too, right? So that came out of the FOMC meetings there. Not really surprising. I think we're going to end up with, the scenario that we talked about where Chairman Wash actually changes the data set. Instead of CPI and PCE, he moves to maybe the Chicago trimmed inflation rate, or even better, the trueflation rate, which is down like, what did I say it was, 1.6% or something, and it's more real-time data rather than lag data, which those other ones are, right? So he might change the whole game around the actual inflation rate, and therefore it would just drop straight away below 2% if he uses trueflation. Yeah, we'll be watching that, and of course he's got to obviously, I guess, not only show leadership there, but also turn the rest of the market. And we may see that scenario play out before the election, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So it's a nice balance there. All right, so that's pretty much it at the moment for this week. We've got initial jobless claims on Friday. That could be interesting for the market as well. So we'll watch out for that. All right, let's get into the crypto majors. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, etc. We've got the total market at the moment down 1.2% at 2.22 trillion. Look, I think we're just down at this malaise area down near the bottom of the market. Are we going to have a fourth wave down? I guess that's the question. But at the moment, we're kind of just sitting there in a malaise. I think we're holding up still relatively well, only down 1.2% at 2.22 trillion. And we're just at the beginning. If we're going to re-rate to these big numbers that people have been talking about, 100 trillion, then we've got like a 50x to go, right? 50x in the future. And maybe in the short term, if we're being more modest, even a 10x, right, to half of gold market cap. That's kind of some of the more pragmatic, perhaps, on a big bull run there. Bitcoin at down 1.9%. It's just under $62,000 at the moment. Still up 2.9% for the week, so we've still got a gain at the moment. Ethereum there down 1.4%, $1,735. Still up 7% for the week. BNB at number 4, down 0.9%, up 3.1% at $568. XRP down 1.4% to up 2.8 for the week at $1.09. Solana at $77.72 is down 2.2% and actually down 1%. So it's the only one there in the top 10 that's actually down 1%. But you might recall when we were really moving higher with the old Bitcoin, it was doing probably the best, right, along with Ethereum. But it's back down today. Tron is down 0.7%, but up 3.8% for the week at 32.8 cents. Finally, number 10 there, our final one there, Hyperliquid, the real big star there, sitting at $15 billion based on CoinGecko, down 1.4% at the moment at $67.43, but still up 7.1%. So that got sold off a little bit there with the Bitcoin coming back down because that was actually doing a nice little rally. All right, so let's get into the top 100. We've got Venus token up 6.2%, Uniswap up 4.1%, Sky up 2.1%, ADI up 2.5%, and Baldex up 2.4%. So not a lot of action there in the last 24 hours. Over the last week for the top 100, we got Dexy up 30%, Uniswap up 17%, Mincore up 14%. We got Zcash up 10.9%, and HTX or HTX DAO up 10.8. So those are the top 10. Now I did want to look at the bottom, the ones that are down today, because we've got something dramatic, and we've had some of these come down, like Jupiter. All these ones were down pretty dramatic, I think, from yesterday. So yeah, we've definitely got some losers down there at the moment. Even Ondo, which is leading tokenization and doing extremely well on everything, is getting priced down, which is, this crypto is a tough one there. You think, oh, you got all this positive news coming up for Ondo regarding tokenization and perpetuals, but getting pushed down there with the price. Now, to be fair, it was rallying yesterday as well, but once we start moving down, it's a leverage play to the downside apparently. Still holding at a pretty comfortable 31 cents, though. 1.5 billion on Ondo there, but keep a lookout for that. What would that be next year, right? That could be pretty incredible. All right. Now, obviously, you always have to look at the supply numbers and any releasing and everything like that, but that's where we are right now. All right. Let's jump down. I thought we had Lab. I thought Lab was in here. I think Lab might have moved down. Actually, let's go down to. We haven't done this for a while, but let's go quickly check page 2 here. Lab. Look at this. Lab. I was trying to hunt Lab there with those down prices, but look at Lab. It's gone out of the top 100. It is down 74% over the last 24 hours. Wow. Up 15% in the last hour. I thought there might be some easy money there to be had. Now, obviously not financial advice, but it's at $1.41 at the moment. But that got smashed yesterday, so I'm not sure. It was obviously a big whale or something, or I don't know. But down 85% for the week now. So Lab was one of the rising stars, and of course it's this big trading platform, right? If we click on that quickly, I just wanted to pull this out because Lab is a first all-in-one eco trading system, but that got absolutely smashed overnight on the old BNB chain. All right, bit of high drama. The old Lab, is it a good pickup now? That's the question. Is it a good pickup after that rise? It's already up 15% on the hour though, so maybe we're an hour too late on the early pickup, or maybe it's got a lot more to go. I don't know. We'll see. Certainly, that was interesting to me. All right, top 1,000 movers. We got Green up 583%. Say what? Let's have a look at what Green is actually, since we're doing a bit of a nosy. Okay, so what chain's it on? Chain is on Ethereum there. Website set power free. It says. Let's quickly go to the website. Set power free. Own a part of the largest public global decentralized power grid in the world. Oh wow, okay, that's pretty cool. So some RWA type stuff. So there we go. That is on the move there. Rank number 815, so pretty high, pretty risky stuff, but is up pretty big at the moment. So we'll see what happens there. Just need to do due diligence, but that's on the move right now. Arrow up 235% as well. Let's have a quick look at that since it's up pretty good. It's number 929. These are pretty high risk, and that's why we focus on the top 100, right? Because you can make a lot of money on these small players, but you really do have to do a lot of research and then hope for the best. Arrow Finance. So this is a finance platform, and let's have a quick look at this. Arrow Finance. Let's see if it renders here. Come on, you can do it. Borrow against what you already own. Supply crypto, stablecoins, and tokenized equities as collateral. Mint AUSD against them and keep your upside without selling a share. So there we go. They've got a launch testnet there at the moment. So it looks like testnet. So I'm not sure why it's doing so much. Maybe some specific news around that. Borrow against tokenized equities on Robinhood chain. So there, it's got a tie in there. Interesting. So kind of interesting there. All right, so we're going to have something similar. I think this is kind of similar to VersaVault in some ways from the looks of it. All right, so that is cool. That is Arrow. Let's have a look. Let's jump over to the other ones here. We've got CashCat is up 65%. So those are trending in the top 1,000. Trending overall is CashCat, Bitcoin, and Pudgy Penguins again. There, Pudgy Penguins popping up all the time, but it's always red. Have you noticed? It's always on a down day. There we go. All right, so that's the market at the moment. We're down 1.5%, so we've even gone up a little bit more. Let's jump into Bitcoin. Bitcoin here on the daily. There's Coinbase. So CoinGecko was an average of markets. There's Coinbase. We're at 62,029, so slightly better price here on the Coinbase. We've got the stochastic RSI on the bottom here. You can see it waving around. We were looking at it because it ties into the weekly very well. We've got the the 200 moving average at 74,220. Obviously, we've got this curling down. I don't know how deep it's going to go, but let's have a look. We'll turn this off for a minute on the RSI, and we'll put back our 50. And our 50 at the moment, daily moving average is at 65,600. So we've got a bit of work to do with that. Where's it going to land here, though? That's the question. Where's it going to land on this price, given that we've got this Iranian conflict ongoing? That said, we've got good news coming out of NATO. I certainly hope they don't sell the F-35s to Turkey. I mean, that's a disaster. You know, it's for all the goodness there. I wouldn't be wanting to sell F-35s to Turkey. I hope he doesn't do it. I don't think he's going to do it. Fingers crossed. I don't know. I don't know what deals they've done, but we'll try and find out. All right. That's where we are, $62,020 right now on the old Bitcoin. Let's go to the weekly quickly. You got to remember that Turkey is Erdogan, the prime minister there, is basically part of the Muslim Brotherhood. I mean, they're basically, quite radical. So what they're doing in NATO, I don't know, but they're there. I guess they've been, it hasn't been great for Europe either, has it? Especially Germany. We're at 62,000 right now. We're sitting on the 200 moving average. 62,000. What do we got here? 62,859. So we're about $850 below the moving average here on the 200 weekly. Now, our 200 weekly is one of these indicators for the 4-year cycle, and so anytime you bought below here is pretty good. So even though it's not much fun being down this level, it's actually, we might have a shallower move, right? Now the question is, are we going to get a fourth wave down by October if the 4-year cycle plays out perfectly? Is it going to get front run in September or August? There's questions like that. Like I say, I think it's going to be shallower if it does. I don't think expecting us to go to 77, that would get us really low. So if we did even have had us, let's say by October, let's get to the end of October here. Let's say we got down 60%, that's going to take us to 50K. So if we do go down one more level for whatever reason, that fourth waterfall, maybe 50K is the mark there on that. Now, as you guys know, obviously it overshoots and we might get to 47 or something. That would be a 62% back. But if we did what we did in the last cycle, which I don't see happening, would be 77, right? So that's that's way down. It's going off my chart here, but that's down at 30K basically. Not expecting that. All right, let's jump away from here. Bitcoin, the Bitcoin treasuries. So Adam back. So we talked about the fact that we've got microsaylor strategy. We've got Cole's Strive. There's two, number 1 and number 7 on the digital asset treasuries. We've got Adam back here along as one of the other two that are emerging as a key player in the digital asset treasury space. And Adam Back's, some people think he might be, Satoshi. Of course, he's denied that many times. He was definitely one of the founding fathers of Bitcoin. I don't think that's probably in the case. Having emails with Satoshi, definitely a key player. Adam Back's BSTR and Cantor's Fitzgerald SIPO are working on a revised structure and amended terms for their proposed DSPAC there. So basically the idea of that is a vote to, merge them together to go and launch a public company, right? That's basically, I think, the idea there. So the shareholder vote has been proposed indefinitely. So they've just delayed that at the moment. So that's pushed it further down the line there. So I guess we're going to have to wait for, I don't know, maybe we have to wait for their buying power, their $1.5 billion buy support to come in a bit later. So it looks like that's a little bit delayed there on that. So Robert says, still in the weeds, but a revised structure could be a clean reset the deal needs. So there we go. We'll keep a lookout for that. So that is coming later on. Moving to Ethereum. Ethereum right now, we've got here on the daily as well. We've got a stochastic RSI down the bottom here. We're sitting at 1735. And we're obviously rolling over on the stochastics there. Let's hide that and bring back the 50-day moving average. We're just below the 50-day moving average for Ethereum at 1779, and we're at 1734 at the moment, US dollars. So just below at the moment. And we've got the 200 moving average at 2239. But let's go to the 4-year cycle indicator for the weekly. And like last year, we were pretty down at 1,300 and where'd we go? $1,383. We've been as low as $1,500 pretty much twice, and here we are at 1734. Anytime last time we bought down here, beautiful run. The 3 main catalysts for last year, and this all happens really quick, guys. It really happens so fast. I'm not suggesting we're going to get it quite right now, but we're getting there. and that is, we had tariff recovery, short covering, and the digital asset treasuries last year, right? So we just got this huge hyper rally in 133 days of 256%. So it was a 3.5x in Ethereum. So not bad. And that was buying down in this range. So we have been in a 5-year accumulation if we look even further out. And we're ready to break that 5K. And this time the catalysts are not what they were last year per se, although digital asset treasury is still playing a role, but actually, stablecoin tokenization in particular, and AI, agentic AI, those two later, they're a big deal as well. So they're all on takeoff phase. We've been following that, and that's what we're expecting to really re-rate Ethereum, and therefore re-rate the Ethereum price. In addition to that, we've had the launch of leadership with the digital asset treasuries financially supporting new entities like ETH Labs and Ethereum Institutional. And they're playing key roles in upgrading the chain, as well as bringing on institutional adoption, making it real easy and helping companies get on. So that's really exciting. And of course, we recently just saw the Ondo perpetuals, and a big shout out by Ethereum Institutional about that. So really, things are going really well there, and kicking off with a great hurrah. So now we've got 3 main entities there, Ethereum Foundation as well, with those other 2. And who knows, we may hear, maybe there's 1 or 2 more come down the line. Let's see what happens there. So we've got that great leadership there, and we know that Tom Lee is playing a key role there in leadership to make all this happen, right? So this new era of finance, institutional and mass adoption, and of course Mr. Beast is sitting out there waiting, and I think maybe we might hear something about that in the second half of the year. We'll be watching that. All right, bring it on. All right, so that's kind of where we are right now. So we'll be watching those themes on the weekly here. We've got the 200 moving average the 200 weekly average at 2,472, and the 50 in yellow at 2,900 and the weekly average there. Game on. Pretty, based on history. Maybe it doesn't repeat exactly, but it rhymes. Then easy run to 5K. Just be patient. Just got to hold on and stop trading like a pump and dumper. And but this time we're expecting to break the 5K. Maybe head to 10 to 12, 10 to 20K in the next 6 to 24 months. I've still got a target sitting with the power law. It's still sitting around 200,000 for the end of this year. And as we just showed, it doesn't take much for everything to turn around there. Maybe it's July, August, September, but certainly, the 4-year cycle, October, most of the market's sort of moving to that direction, and therefore maybe it gets front run in September or something. We'll see. Now, the Clarity Act is really looking kind of weak at the moment. We're expecting to get that through by first week of August. So that's definitely weakened out. There's a lot of games going on. It's a huge document. They're trying to merge all those different views from different Senate committees. And so we'll see what happens in that space. So yeah, it's 50-50. We don't really want to just purely default to the SEC and the CFTC regarding regulation. The CFTC also doesn't have a lot of rulership over spot trading, and so therefore, tokenized assets are all not protected. So that's why Clarity Act pretty important in that role. But we got the banks like Morgan Stanley getting involved, trying to get rid of any yield opportunities. Just typical control. Banks are just the worst, aren't they? They're just the worst, and obviously they're protecting their own cash cow and their power that goes with it. Morgan Stanley and others. So meanwhile, they're also playing the other side where they're coming into crypto in a big way. So they're just terrible. Banks are terrible. I mean, they really are. I could say a lot about banks, and that's not very good stuff. Anyway, so there we go. We're at 1733 right now on the old Ethereum. So we'll tick away there. Let's go to some of the good news happening on Ethereum. Ondo perpetuals just launched, right? And already, this was 10 hours ago too. We've already done over $2 billion of trade volume. Woo-hoo-hoo! Pretty exciting, right? It is the tokenized leader. We saw that yesterday on RWA sites. Maybe we'll bring that back up briefly. Let's just bring up the back site there. Now, I did do a video on some pretty fun topics from Pulsechain yesterday. We will quickly look at that later, but we're at 33.29 billion distributed asset value. Where will we be in a year's time? Will we be at $1 trillion plus? That's the question, right? And I think that's where we're heading. If we look at represented asset value, we're already at 388 billion. But this is sort of the key number here, 33.29. And we're getting a lot. Obviously, the recent expansion's been in stocks and commodities, right? We also we know stablecoins, US Treasuries are a no-brainer, but stocks and commodities, there's been a big boom there. And if we go to stocks, we can see the leader there is Ondo and X stocks and Securitize underneath there, right? So these two, Ondo's, they're 405 RWAs, X stocks 172 real world assets there, basically digital asset, stocks and commodities. So it's been pretty cool. We get to jump on the commodities there. We've got Ondo down here at 16, X stocks down here at 3. So you sort of see the level there on those. So it's pretty exciting, and they've now gone from tokenization into perpetuals offerings. So there's Ondo Finance, which is doing tokenization, and Ondo Perpetuals doing the perpetual trading. And Ondo Perpetuals cumulative trading has surpassed $2 billion. Amazing, attracting thousands of users participate in trading. Isn't that cool? So any of that we can get is great. Trade RWA perpetual contracts on Ondo Perpetuals with up to 20x leverage as well, and sharing rewards. They've got a $3 million reward bucket in stablecoin. I think USDC is the one I think they're using. So that's pretty cool. So that was big news there. Now they're about 10 hours ago, that number. So it's already obviously gone up past that, but that was pretty cool. Now we're going to get into valuation. So we were talking about if Ethereum becomes more valuable, crypto becomes more valuable, then the tokens like ETH and Solana and others will become more valuable, right? It's kind of the flow. Now Tom Lee here, of course, the leader of the CEO of Fundstrat as well as Bitmine, has just given us a breakdown here from a review of Treasury Scott Bessent, right? He was validating Treasury Scott Bessent validating total addressable markets, or TAM, of the crypto exponentially higher than it was a few years ago. Matt Hugin here. So Matt Hugin here, you guys know from Bitwise, on a lot of YouTube videos, right? He's co-founder there. He's giving spend a little bit of time there reviewing Scott Bessent's speech. But we're going to scroll down, and we're going to go through a lot of these things. We're going to go all the way past all the stock market stuff. We're going to go to the ETH. I thought it was kind of interesting. So ETH 1.0, 2015 to 2026. They got ICO boom 2017. You guys remember that? It was a ride, wasn't it? It wasn't a hoot. It was fantastic. It was so much fun. Watching that chart go up like it did was crazy for Bitcoin and Ethereum and stuff. We've got NFT boom 2020 to 2021. Stablecoin boom 2025 till now. So it's kind of where we are now. ETH peaks $4,866 in 2021 and $49,555 in 2025. Obviously, we talked about those catalysts. Obviously, ETH. Interesting enough, they don't have on here. They don't have the DATs, which we just talked about. Said to you, we had the tariff relief, we had short covering, and we had the DATs. But obviously, we also had the stable coins in there as well. So maybe I should have missed that one. But there we go, stable coins. But moving forward, ETH 2.0, we got a new foundation area, which I just talked about, right? So we've got ETH Foundation, we've got ETH Labs, and we've got ETH Institutional, Ethereum Institutional. We've got the digital assets funding that stuff and leading the way. So it's kind of cool. That's a big deal. It's a big deal. That's going to be a lot of fun to see. Glamsterdam's coming up, right? So Glamsterdam there, new gas numbers. Was it 200 million, I think? Or was it 200 billion? I can't remember, 200 million. And then we got obviously a dramatic increase in transactions per second. I'm just trying to remember. Is it 10,000? Something like that. So we've got major cost decreases in scaling on the layer one. Obviously a lot of stuff's gone to layer two. So we're trying to bring that value back into layer one of Ethereum. And of course, Pulsechain is downstream of that. So, we'll be looking for that as well. We have had no signals from Bretep or Richard Hart around a hard fork. So we've had no hard forks yet. Is Glamsterdam going to be the first one? We shall see. There's obviously a lot of, criticism around that. And I think it's fair criticism, right? We've got no roadmap and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens there. Obviously, we've got very low volumes and on Pulsechain at the moment. We're still, ticking over a couple $1 million a day. But we've still got some, are we going to do any of these upgrades in the future? Obviously, one of the big ones, maybe by 28, 29, will be a quantum quantum protection upgrade. We'll see where we head there with that. Ethereum enterprise engagement obviously is a big deal. This is a multi-year process, but it's getting ramped up and being brought forward in many ways through these new entities in the new foundation area. With ETH Labs and ETH Institutional in particular. Obviously, also, SharpLink, which is their common stock is SBET, their second biggest ETH digital asset treasury. They are they are focused a lot on institutional adoption. So that's going to be fun. But I think Tom Lee is really pulling all the pieces together. And this is going to add mega value. We were talking about trillions of dollars of value coming in with that, I think. Financial settlement layer moves onto blockchain, and this is where they're heading. Remember, Tom Lee was talking about this re-rate, fundamental re-rate, to minimum $60,000 per ETH. And of course, if it does become a full payment rail and Bitcoin heads to $1 million, and it breaks this ratio between Ethereum and Bitcoin. The peak ratio was 8.9% back in 21. If it breaks that because it becomes a payment rail, that's where Tom Lee suddenly gets these big numbers of $250,000. So moving from 8.9% to 25% value of Bitcoin, Bitcoin being that store of value, and then you get that ETH goes to 250, and this is on a 10-year horizon, so it's kind of a longer period. In the short term, the sort of the 6 to 24 months, we're talking about maybe 10 to 20K, Ethereum. That's kind of the more pragmatic side of it. So this settlement layer obviously is the end game. If you can get to that, it'd be pretty amazing. You've got to increase the Ethereum chain and make it a lot better to do that. Obviously, Solana obviously has got these high transactions per second, but the chain stops and all sorts of other things like that. So, and you've got to have decentralized validators and everything else. It all goes with it. AI era brings agents into using the crypto, and this is a mega focus there. Tom Lee's always talking about that. Obviously, with Bitmine, they've got this. They've invested in AI and digital ID. Right, so we obviously don't like digital ID that much because it's just control at the end of the day. But from their point of view, they're trying to separate out AI agents from real humans. That's kind of where they're heading with it. But we know that the powers to be can't help themselves but use it against us. So yeah, they've got that there through an investment vehicle called ALGO there. All right, so that's moving forward there, and we know this is just on the seed phase. We're just starting up, where people basically giving it a wallet and putting some money in it and let the AI go and analyze stocks and tokenize stocks and other things, cryptos, and go and trade them. Right, that's kind of the beginning of that. Although I think we're going to get a lot of innovation in that space over time. We got machine-to-machine commerce requires blockchains. Obviously, bigger there, Ethereum becomes the unit of account of Ether's money. So this is the visionary side. And this is what they're trying to realize, make happen, and by moving all these chess pieces in place. And obviously, they've shown their first big hand here. I think. The first big hand was actually setting up the DATs, putting 20 billion, like Bitmine, raising $20 billion, even though they're out of the money, 50% or something. They put all this money in. And they've already gone all in, right? So they're already gone in. Tom Lee's gone all in. Now they get paid for reaching milestones. Like 5% he gets paid. I can't remember what it is, $15 million or something. But they're also trying to create this big, do this new finance over on the blockchain because it's a better technology, right, than traditional markets. And then they're making all this other stuff happen here. So that's kind of the vision there. ETH 2.0 equals expected massive ETH demand and price increases. So obviously here is where we are. They got the little map here that they've done. They love doing this. It's the visualizations. But we've got all these key things: ICO boom, NFTs, ETFs, stable coins. And so they got the price here. And at the moment, we're just been in this long accumulation zone on the back end of ETH 1.0 as they're framing it. Remember, it's all about narratives. You're selling a narrative. And then, of course, they got the second one here where they got this extrapolation, right? So ETH 2.0, new foundation era, which they've set up, their leadership and pulling all the pieces together, helping people, with adoption, agentic AI, settlement layer for finance, and Ether's money. Now, they're missing stuff off here, right? They're missing stuff off here. And I would say that Mr. Beast investment is a key part of that. So they're missing mass adoption, retail mass adoption, which they're working on as well. So they intentionally, I think, don't put it on here, particularly Tom, because they want to let it play out first. They're going to get it to play out, and then they'll put it on their chart later on and go, oh, look, something, Mr. Beast mass adoption for Ethereum just popped up here, and that's going to be targeting, generation X and Y and a bit of millennials there. So key, and he, of course, he's got some big numbers up here. Look at these numbers: 25, 75, 250K on the top end here, and so that's in the future. No timeline, but let's just stay 10 years. You've got 16 to 26, that's 10 years. That's 10 years there, which is the time frame that Tom Lee always talks about, right? So there we go. And, of course, a massive return there. $1,732 makes the buying at the moment super duper cheap, right? Super duper cheap. And you can see it as a gift as a hand. And you just got to be patient. You just got to be patient. Particularly, we're expecting a lot of the big ramp to be in the next 6 to 24 months. It's probably going to be pretty aggressive. And so, yeah, a no-brainer there. You got to remember, out in the rest of the world, it's going to be very difficult for people. Very difficult because you got AI getting nowhere, take away jobs. You got humanoid robots going to replace. Look, they're going to replace all these people. You got all these things going on in the world. Well, humanoid robots. I mean, Elon Musk is talking about big numbers. We're talking about billions of humanoid robots coming into the planet. Just think about that. So if you're walking down the street and for every person you see, you're going to see a humanoid robot walking around. That's kind of the vision there. Because these things aren't like the old robots. They're not clunky little things. Optimus 3 coming out is going to have something like 21 or 22 of the 27 hand movements that we have as humans. So it's going to be pretty scary stuff. But one also has to remember that it's just code. We're just interacting with code every time we talk to one of these robots. And people start treating them like they're real human beings, right? But they're just code, and that's going to be hilarious watching that, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. I hope I didn't hurt your feelings, little robot. I hope I didn't hurt you. It's going to be like that. Oh, you're the best ever. You're the best ever. And it's just like, man, it's a software, dude. It's a software. It's going to be pretty funny. Funny enough, I watched a bit of Terminator last night, one of the TV series, I think. Man, it'd be brutal. They're hunting down humans in the streets. Yeah. That's the downside, right? That's the downside. Now, obviously, we want decentralized stuff because that helps mitigate some centralized control. So that's the other side of things. All right, so here we are. Anyway, back to the crypto. That's the long term view. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I think that's it on that one. I'm going to put a little bookmark on that. But now BMNR has a high beta to the price of ETH. So BMNR, largest holder of ETH in the world, permanent capital of the balance sheet. We know that they've got enough money now to buy the rest of the ETH. They're not going to probably do that. They're going to just pace it a little bit because they've got other things they're doing. But essentially, they've got enough cash on hand to buy get their 6 million and 30, what do we say? 35,000 ETH, I think it was. Permanent capital on the balance sheet there. They got the Maven, which is their own staking platform, and they also do third-party operations. There's at least a couple $1 billion to third-party users or clients, as we might call it. BMR has moonshot investments in DeFi future of finance, and that's where they're downplaying stuff, right? This Mr. Beast investment, which I think is the route to mass adoption, and they're going to make it real easy so people can just use an app and buy a bit of ETH, and so you could have tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people buying ETH just through the apps. That's kind of where I see this going in some form or another, and so we're watching out for that. Now, whether Bitmine is a sub-product, product, I should say, of Mr. Beast, he bought Leap app earlier this year. We shall see where that all leads, but we're expecting this to be a big deal here, and it's a massive surprise to the upside. It will take the market off guard if they get that launched, because Mr. Beast has 1 in 3 people in the world watching his videos every month. Pretty big deal there, and the younger generation, one would argue. Below is the illustrative implied share price based on the historical correlation between BMNR, so obviously an implied value for re-rating a BMNR stock, which is super cheap right now, with it down about $15. So imagine you got 500, depending on where ETH goes, 22K. ETH is 3 to 500 BMNR, 62,500 BMNR is 12 to 1,500, and of course 250,000 if they do get this payment rails vision, 4 to 5,000 BMNR. But of course he's done this thing where he's raised all his potential shares so he can do a 1 to 100 stock split. So that also plays into the hand, if you ask me, into this Mr. Beast app and all that sort of stuff, because maybe they're going to sell his stock as well. So yeah, that could be double upside there, right? So people were worried about stock splits, but I actually think it's just part of the strategic move for Tom Lee. Could be wrong, but I think that kind of makes sense to me there on that one. So that's pretty much it on that. I thought it was kind of cool. So getting that big picture, always good to zoom back out again, right, every so often and have a look at where we're going here, because the day-to-day is pretty rough, particularly these days at the bottom of the market where we're finding that bottom. Bang, bang, Pulsechain. We've got Frank Whitehouse. Big shout out there, Frank. All right, so that is hopefully pretty insightful. Let's jump into Pulsechain. Pulsechain, of course, downstream of Ethereum, and we were hoping to see some major moves here. We're in the hunt for the price, so the low price. So the current price is at 506100. So that's US dollars, so 5061. and we're down 3.6% today. So we've had these little slowly grinding down days every day. The last week, is it? I don't know, it feels like that. Hex on Pulsechain has lost that 0 2 days ago. And it's down at 0.0095. So today and yesterday, down 4.6% today. We did cover Hex bonds with the actuator product. We just did an overview of that yesterday. Obviously, Crispy Man and other people have done deep dives into that. And we got ProofX at the moment is at 4042, down 4%. PulseX there down 3.4% at 505 something. And Ink token, oh wow, look at that, 30 cents, down 4.5%. All of these have a use case. Pulsechain, of course, is the coin for the fee of the chain. Hex is a CD and has a lot of derivative products on it. ProofX is zero knowledge proofs, peer-to-peer technology. Had a few upgrades on that recently. It's going to probably have its first wave of adoption this month, is my expectation, with LibertySwap, VersaVault, and Vault 369 probably being the kingpins there. No doubt, we've already seen one application from Kairos that pays out in ProofX, so it's kind of the first DeFi's that I'm aware of that's supporting it. We've got Pulsex at the moment. Obviously, it's our biggest DEX, and of course, it does a big buy and burn, offers yield as well. And then so Ink token there, that's a dead duck. But the thing about Ink token, it's tied in with the Pulsex pools with the art law. And so one could say it's a leverage play, even though it's a dead duck in my view. It's the only one I don't like. Let me put it that way. All right, so we know Richard Hart made some chess moves. So Richard Hart is not just gone and disappeared, as many people say. He has made chess moves. And he is also subject to the market. He's not greater than the market. Just like strategy, Michael says strategy is not greater than the market. He's just a player there. And if ETH is down dramatically, he bought the ETH at 13,773. As far as I know, I think the ETH is sitting in the ProofX sacrifice wallet. I think that's last time. I've got to go double check that, but I think that's where it is. And so, yeah, we've got lots of things to come in the future there as we hunt the bottom. All right, so let's go to the chart. Before we do that, though, let's get into the gas prices. We're pretty much at the bottom, 420,000 beats. So pretty used to last couple of days, pretty weak. It's suggestive that trading volume is low as well. So we're at 63 pulse per Pulsex swap, 400th of a penny for a Pulsex swap at the moment. Moving to the validators, we lost over the last couple of weeks, lost some pretty big validators. We're now at 43,900. That's been pretty stable around that number for quite a while now. But definitely we used to have like 51,000 for ages, and we've gone down to the 43,900. Let's go to the bridge numbers. There's kind of maybe a leading indicator of value, but of course it's been down on the bottom, and we've got a lot of idle capital. Some say $25 to $30 million of this capital is sitting idle on the Pulsechain. What the hell for? I don't know. You decide. Some say it's not Richard Hart, so I don't know. If it's not Richard Hart, then what's it doing there, right? They forgot about it. Oh, I just put $10 million in. I forgot about it and walked away. So it'd be pretty interesting to see some analysis on that. Right. So we are currently at 48.44 million. All-time low was 47, wasn't it? Let me just double check. 47.59. So we're 800,000 above that, are we? Yeah. We've got a lot of Bitcoin, a lot of ETH. So obviously, if that goes down, that helps go down when we've got all the stables, USDC, USD Tether, and DAI. And apparently, there's about 25 to 30 million of all that capital just sitting idle. We've only got a couple million bucks in the LP pools, and of course we see that in the chain. We see that Richard Hart cores are doing well. PDI does well with high volumes over 100k. We can occasionally get a couple other tokens going up and down. Typically James Maria stuff going in there. Maybe OG WebChef stuff going into the top $100,000 pairs. But typically, if we're doing $2.5 to $3.5 million, we typically got maybe six to eight pairs in that 100k mark. So that's where all the action's at. So it's not huge. And then we've got all this idle capital sitting around. So I don't know. We'll see where we go from here. Hunting the bottom. Let's go into day. Where are we going? We're going to the chart here. So this is the Pulsechain chart. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I do the old theme here. But basically, we're hunting the bottom. We had 5,400 back on the week of the 8th of June. These are weekly candles. We're currently at 61,300. So we've really drifted back down here. And we're only a little bit above it, right? So 10, 11%. I mean, it's almost nothing in crypto, but at least it's not back to 5,400. I mean, it's dramatic, right? So 1 billion pulse will cost you $6,100 now. At the all-time low, it was $5,400. If you'd done the sacrifice, it was $85,000 to $90,000. So if we inverse all that, then you're getting a volume boom, right? Maybe 14x, 15x more volume than you would during the sacrifice period for Pulsechain and Pulsex and all that. And so, that's one way of looking at the world, right? And therefore, it's you're getting all that stuff that's been redistributed from all those big sacrifice whales that have decided to leave the chain and help contribute to this big downward mega 3-year downtrend. And of course, we're trying to break that. So first, lock in the all-time low. So assuming we don't get a fourth wave down by October with the crypto majors, then maybe we've locked it in at 5,400. If not, we could drift down and go to make a new one. But 5,500 was the mark where a lot of people were telling me, at least privately, that they thought the chain would go down. They ended up being right about that. How do we get out? Well, we find a bottom. We've got to, in my view, break 1,200, get over 1,700, lose a zero on the way, of course. Maybe come back, test 1,200 or 1,000, and end up to the right. So that blue arrow there, that's what we're looking for at the moment, right? So I might actually move. Oh, what are we going there? I might actually move that arrow there because it's a little bit deprecated now. But we'll take it to the all-time low, and that's kind of what we're looking for, right? So I don't know. Maybe we'll have to make that a little bit angulated now. And what have we got the time here? I got February, so maybe it's not quite that dramatic. I don't know. Let's go to the end of October, and we'll just keep it that way. Actually, let's go to the beginning of October, and maybe they make that at the end of October. That'll be fine. And then I don't know. Let's go out to February here. February, March. Let's do that. That's something like that. Maybe we'll get something like that. We shall see. We've got plenty of room in the RSI, and we've definitely had structural changes in the chart, so it has changed the behavior. So are we almost getting there? That's the question. Certainly teasing us, maybe we are, but this week's for sure we're not. We're at 61, so let's see what happens here. The bears are starting to take over here on the chart. We've got the 21 weekly average is currently around about 8,900, so 50 is 8,900. So we've got a lot of work. That's our first catalyst. That also happens to be where we had a bit of wick resistance here on the 13th. So we've got a bit of work to do there, and we don't see anything particularly helping us get there at the moment. When will a market maker come in? Well, who are the market makers? Who's going to come in here? Well, there are probably a couple people that have still got a decent capital left, and obviously Richard Hart out there as well. So we'll keep a track on that. That's may come in later on. Maybe not now, but maybe when we get a bit of more lift in this chart, maybe we might get a market maker come in there. But who will they be? Since a lot of the people that are market makers are now out of the money a lot. I remember I don't want to mention names because I don't really like mentioning names too much. But there was a one whale that was worth a lot of money, and they're still worth a lot of money, but they're worth about five times less money, right, if you know what I mean. So it's they can still move charts on Pulsechain because the liquidity is so thin. We'll just have to watch that. Now that is sort of where we are on the chart, but on the last 2 months, and I think in the next couple of months, we're getting a lot of blue chip projects on Pulsechain that's relative to Pulsechain, fixing up a lot of the problems that we have on Pulsechain. Not enough wallets, not enough, not reading the right data, and all that sort of stuff. So they're all fixing that up. DEX aggregators, some of the best technology, V3, V4 technology, and a lot more coming. Fiat on ramps, all that sort of stuff. And so we're having a massive build out at the moment that's fixing up a lot of these problems at the bottom of the market, arguably. So we have got a good story there happening at the moment. Now, are we like full on DeFi chain? Because that's obviously one of the things we are. Well, we're not. We don't. We need more innovation in that space. We've got good innovators on Pulsechain, but we need even more. We need to really push the boundaries of that. So there's lots of opportunity there, just like any chain, I guess. But Pulsechain's positioning itself, as a DeFi chain, as a freedom chain. Not having overlords and all sorts of stuff. And I think we're not too bad in that space. And so there's a lot of stuff that can be done there. But at the moment, I think we're really got a really great value story rolling out, certainly fixing up the problems, and that's a lot of things are problems and possibilities, right? So getting depth around that. That's why I did the stream yesterday, which we'll probably get into as well, on some of the areas which are probably we're underplayed, right? Which is AI, theme and solutions. We went through that. We got our P-Day from Patias, but we really had no update on that. Certainly taking them longer. The last update, I think, was April, and they said that they were working hard on that. And that could be, it's probably the only blue chip kind of solution that I'm aware of on Pulsechain. We've got a couple of niche players, like Wick, trying to discover new protocols with their AI. And so they've been pretty excited about that, but still, got to get traction on that. It's very hard to get adoption as well. Adoption's a big key. And then we've got, are we going to be doing anything? Then we've got a lot of other little AI stuff being used for certain protocols, for certain features, but that's about it. We also saw there was some crossover with the Web3 stuff from Stu with his Web3 ecosystem, the all-in-one, which is pretty exciting on Pulsechain. So I think that's really a big deal. We'll hopefully watch that expand in the months ahead as it's rolling out, in the current time, June, July. August probably, and so that's exciting. And they've got some of that there with trading, and then of course we covered RWA, which I think is about to take off this month. So this RWA tokenization is about to hit Pulsechain this month, and LibertySwap is leading that, which we're going to talk about next. And so that's going to bring stocks and commodities. So that's really going to catch us up. So we're catching up on everything. We're going to have typically markets end up being like oligopolies. In other words, you have 3 or 4 major suppliers. And that's a pretty mature market, I think. Obviously you can have lots and lots of duplicates, but actually, 3 or 4 is pretty good. And we didn't have that before, and that's what I'm saying. We've really had a value change here. So we've got Internet Money Wallet, we got CKP Wallet from LibertySwap, which is going to be the wallet of everything. And then we've got 2 other wallets coming from RapNow, and another one of our fiat bridges, which is doing a good job. And then we've got which is like a modified Rabby, and then we got Alex McFurter, from Hedron Acosa, who's done great products, and he looks like he's going to doing his Cabby wallet, right? So we've got that in play as well. We've got the websites out for that. So we're going to have good wallet space. We've got good DEX and DEX aggregators, and we're getting all the tools that we need for adoption as well. And everyone's trying to make things easier to use for new people as well. So got a lot of good stuff on the road, and then we've got more stablecoins and lending products coming down the road as well. And more sort of meme coin pump tire stuff as well. So we've got lots of cool things on the move. All right, so let's ski here. We got the price of where the price is, so we'll keep a lookout. We're still on the hunt, and we're certainly under pressure again this week, but we'll watch with the rest of the markets. Looking at the volumes, well, we're right near the bottom there. Like normally I say 2.5 to 3.5. We're at 2.3. So once again, we're down here. I think what's the lowest we had recently? 1.9, wasn't it? 1.9. We're at 2.3 right now. We've got 249,000 transactions. At 2.3, PulseX is doing how much? 1.5. So we've still got 800K elsewhere. LibertySwap V3 is doing, let's say, 500. So we've got about 300K elsewhere. 9mm is doing 264. So what did I say, 300? So we've got maybe 40, 50K missing. SwitchX 77. So the math is not matching perfectly based on the way I did it, but essentially these 4 are doing most of the volume there. Plus or minus there, a couple of 10,000. We got 9 still doing 92K, and Uniswap here 3.3, so a little bit there. But as I like to go through the volumes, because what is doing most of the volumes here based on DEX screener data is we've got the Peacock and Peacock Ninjas from OG WebChef doing huge volumes there relative to everything else. 200K, 190K. And then you got the Richard Cores, right? They're all coming in, so they're all pretty much it. On this list, this is missing PDI though, right? Missing PDI. So that is on the list here on DEX Screener View. If we go to PulseX, specifically, then you got Richard Cores pretty much, right, dominating those. We got LibertySwap. It's going to be obviously the first 2, Peacock Ninjas, OG WebChef, and Peacock, with some Richard Cores and some Bridgeton Wrapped ETH stuff like that. And then 9mm, we go into volumes there. We got Richard Cores and a bit of Wrapped Bitcoin there as well, and 9mm. Just a little. I mean, they're pretty small, but you got those there as well. Why is that not filtering properly? I don't know. That's weird. What happened there? Yeah, so basically Richard Cores there again. And then SwitchX is Richard Cores again. Now, the reason why I point this out, because we're kind of watching, the bigger volumes. So these are sort of the safer protocols. And if you add all these up across all the DEXs, so you obviously got Richard Cores are dominating along with, OG WebChef and Peacock. And PDI's not showing on here, but we'll look at that in a second. And so, yeah, this is DEX Screener's view of the top 100. And those are the ones that are making most of the moves. Now, before we get into the top performers now on DEX Screener, top 100 default view, let's quickly go to Pulse Coin List and have a look at see where PDI is actually at. Oh no, not that one there. Pulse Coin List, Pulse coin list, and let's see. Now there's some disconnection between I think the way that Pulse coin list may not have updated for certain new things. Is that going to update or not? Let's see if it renders. I don't know why it's having a little bit of cat problem. Anyway, we'll come back to that. We'll address that in a minute. But let's have a look at the movers. We've got hardly anything green today, and can you fault it? And we only got $2.3 million in volume right now. So we've on the default view on Deck Screener, we've got Liberty up 3.5%, PMint, which is a PDI project, up 2%. Unity, they're tied into Pulsex from Cryptographics, up 1.9%. Bonnie's, Richard's First Car, Meme Coin, up 1.3%. Top Hat from Crypto Coffee, tied into the Peacock ecosystem. Liquidity up 1.2%, and then Zendog, also another Peacock project, tied in there as well. One of the quadfecta projects, as we call it, up just under 0.5%. That's it. That's it for today. That's pretty much it. So everything else is in the red. And the worst performers, I guess, on a down day, Pepe, meme coin, one of our popular meme coins there, down 15%. We'll have a quick look at that because it's down, pretty sadly. Yeah, look at that. Oh, there's a daily charts down to not very fun. Not very fun to hold on to that right now. What is that down? 40%. Ouchie. So yeah, not much fun holding on to the old Pepe there. Looking at the weekly charts, big red week for the old Pepe. And let's look at the pulse ratio to be fair. Obviously, pulse is down, but still that's pretty down, pretty hard there. Look at that. So it was at 18.6 pulse per Pepe. Is now down at 13. So there we go. That's a dramatic fall there. Look at that chart. Used to be up at 95. Those times have gone, But down here at the moment. It's a good buy. I don't know. Have a look at the RSI. Check it out. See. We got most wanted, another meme coin here. Man, meme coin's getting smashed. They really haven't done a great. For most of the time, meme coins are not really in the zone, right? It's not really the thing. So it's sort of later in the cycle. We got most wanted down 30%. Another top meme coin as well. Let's have a quick look at that. So meme coin's getting smashed today, down there on the chart. Not so bad on this one compared to previous weeks. Going to be in the consolidation. Let's go to the pulse ratio. We'll have looking at the weekly candles. This is a daily candle. Yeah, so it's just a down day today. Actually, not too bad. Actually, is it recently? So last week, not too bad for the old most wanted, and sort of coming off that sideways, I guess, consolidation there. 445 pulse at the moment per most token. Small volumes. Remember, very small volumes on some of these. RH Pepe meme coin recently. This is a recent meme coin over two months ago, down 13% as well. Very small volume, 765k. Like I say, most stuff on Pulsechain's retail plays, and the only thing you kind of take as serious in terms of decent is anything over 100k. And generally speaking, most of the Pulsechain's volume is real compared to some other chains, which has a lot of volume recycling and everything else. We obviously have projects that kind of play with that, with like OG WebShift and stuff, but printer tokens. But that's kind of where we are right now. So 0006 at the moment on the old RH Pepe. Let's look at the pulse ratio. And that is down at 99. Now, obviously not endorsing any of these projects, but 250 at the moment. It went down from 250 over the last 4 weeks. I'm going to peaked out at 315, so it's down quite a lot there on the old ratio. And Pulsechain's down too, so it's a double herder there. They're down 69%. Ouchie. All right, we got Firewall there. It's up down 12% versus most. So most is down, so that's down too. Soft Tasty Donut over a year ago. We haven't seen this one here. I don't remember seeing this for ages, and you guys know I see it every day. But that's down 11%, so I have no idea. It's got virtually $1,500 of volume here. Let me know if anyone's holding this random stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty bad. They play on words there as well, STDs, etc. Soft Tasty Donut. They have a website. Should we go look at the website? I'm not endorsing this in any way. This is the first time I really looked at this. But let's see if the site there. I thought it might be a better site, but that's not a greater site. I thought it was going to be a lot of fun stuff, but that's actually a little bit underwhelming, isn't it? A little bit underwhelming there. All right, so that is down at the moment. Let's look at the pulse ratio on this. So obviously had a nice rally here. Look at that. It's not bad. That's not bad. And what was it up? 228% in, it's a long time, 448 days, but still, still up there. and then just down recently about 20%. There we go. All right, what else? We've got 9mm, our third biggest DEX in terms of volume. That is down 10% today, so a bit of a down day on the week. There's the weekly channel. So look at the last day. Yeah, so last 2 days coming down was at just under 0.9 of a cent. Now just over half a cent. So that's pretty dramatic, actually. It was doing so well too, wasn't it? In terms of leading the recovery of Pulsechain, maybe. And I don't know. It's potential lead indicator because look at the pulse ratio, it's still up quite dramatically, but definitely down. Someone's taking profits today, 926. And that's funny because they just launched the great value. They just launched their multi-DEX aggregator on 4 chains, right? So it just goes to show you. You just never know. Sometimes people just counter moves. All right, so that's pretty much it on there. I won't go through many of these others. Obviously, we've got Smorg down. Smorg has 2 other printer tokens tied to it. One's Opus. We got Finvestor, OG WebChef down 8% after pretty good run for Finvestor, $1.86 right now. And you can see it had a good run, didn't it? These are weekly candles, so 5 good weeks. Just getting a bit of a sell down now, this last 2 days, but a really good move on the OG WebChef there. Obviously, picking up some excitement there with the Big Cock Ninja one. That doing incredible results there, up 200%, down now on this US dollar price, down 24%. Pulse ratio 306, peaked out over here at 2.4 million. More recent lows, lower highs, at 329. At 300 there, had a good run on there so far. Not really a lot of volumes coming in, but benefits, I believe, from a lot of those other printer tokens, but I don't really see the volumes in here, funny enough. Still, the volumes are like 35K, so that's a lot better than most projects on Pulsechain, and 51K liquidity for $1,200 volume today. So it's quite a disconnect from some of these other volumes. They are weekly candles, so I guess that's the play. We're looking at the daily at 4,000, so I guess 7 4s, 28, is it? So yeah. What else? I think that's it. PUSD grays down here as well, 6%. So these are some of the ones that are down the most. We're going to look quickly at Peacock. Peacock is sitting just at 97 hundredths of a penny, so just below 1 cent, down 3% today. We're going to go have a look at that now. So that is pretty much it. I don't know. We didn't get Pulse Coin List opening up. Just doesn't want to play ball. Doesn't want to play ball today. I'm not sure why. Normally it opens up, so we'll just have a look at that tomorrow instead, if I remember. Hey, we got Jeff in the house. Hey, Jeff, welcome to the chat. Welcome. What's that? Explosives there. You're going to blow up the comment section. Blow up the comment section with there. All right. Don't forget, if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. We're streaming on 3 YouTube channels right now. Crypto Night Show, Superman Crypto, and Pulsechain X, and also we're live on X as well. If you're on X, don't forget to smash the follow button at the top, and also if you want to hit those 2 little arrows on the screen, definitely do that and repost the show. All right, let's jump into some of the news. So LibertySwap, obviously the Kraken on Pulsechain right now, launching top tier protocols, expanding their DeFi offering massively to create the wallet of everything. Now, we've got a lot of teams doing a lot of stuff on Pulsechain. I'm going to try and cover as many of them as possible, but there are a lot. There are a lot, right? So, there's a lot of idle teams. They've kind of finished their product and that's it. We've got that sort of stuff going on, but we do have a lot of dedicated teams building out all the time and trying to innovate. And so, that's, hats off to them all. I covered that show yesterday. So if you guys remember, I don't know if you remember, but I did talk about it earlier. And let me have a look here. We're just going to scroll down here as well. So don't forget us a follow. Smash that repost. I think I've got 2 reposts on there today. Come on, guys. You guys can do better than that. Smash that repost. Let's at least double that by the time I get off the show. We do have DeFi on Pulsechain at the moment. So they've got their X space on. So big shout out to them. And what else? We got the one I did yesterday was Tetra and Web3 ecosystem, Hex bonds, which is actuator product, RWA, real world assets, and AI protocols. So these are areas which we're underplaying essentially. Not the Web3 because Tetra's doing a great job there, but RWA and AI protocols are underplayed right now. But we know that RWA is going to get fixed up a bit there by LibertySwap and by possibly Switch playing a role, which we saw yesterday. So pretty crazy. But that was a really fun video to do. I'm looking forward to do that. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to do some videos on some of the smaller players coming up. Like Dex aggregator, some of the smaller ones out there. We've had recently Giga launched I think a Dex aggregator, Dex site, and their volume's been going up on that. He's pretty well connected in the X Spaces part of the Pulsechain community, and of course we've also had sites like Squirrel Swap from Red Squirrel. So we're going to try and look at a few more of those out there. I did make one comment apparently yesterday when I was talking about Wick, which is one of these AI projects from Tangent, another Pulsechain influencer, saying that there was Wick technology in that. I don't remember it specifically, but I may have said it. So I just want to correct that. Squirrel Swap doesn't have any Wick AI technology involved in it at all. So we'll probably try and address that as well and talk about those coming up. So I just wanted to clarify that for those that were watching, if you picked that up. Anyway, so we've got LibertySwap. So let's get into that. So LibertySwap at the moment, buy back and burn Peacock 3 to 4 times a day. So to reduce token supply, we're obviously well aware of that. So they've been taken away. Now, nearly 2 million Peacock has been burned. So if that was at 1 cent, that'd be $20,000, right? So that's quick math. Obviously, we're just below 1 cent right now, but that's essentially close to 20. Now, yesterday they were at 1.9, so they're just kind of rounding it, but they're pretty close to the 2 million Peacock there. They may have hit it today, I'm not sure. But that's pretty awesome. So if you've got 1 billion tokens, you're taking it off the supply because you're burning it through pump tires. Pump tires sends it to the zero burn address, and therefore it comes off the total supply. That's kind of the logic there. There's kind of 3 main methods. I'm not sure if there's 4. I think there's definitely 3 main methods where you burn. The 369 address is another one for the Pulsechain. So yeah, we got nearly 2 million Peacock is burned. Now remember that originally project was launched by Humpback Holder. He burned, I believe, at the beginning a decent amount, and I've got to go back to my spreadsheet, but he did burn a decent amount. Anyway, there was about 150 before they started burning off the total supply using pump tires. Only about a week or 2, maybe 2 weeks ago, they have there was 154, I think, million were burned off. So you can go to see that we're down to like 840. 43, 44 million. So there's, it's really going to potentially get quite scarce. It could be quite interesting to watch because this is kind of the first utility token, and as long as LibertySwap, it's their store value token. They got given a big chunk of the tokens at the beginning, and Humpback Holder also after the launch, I think he burnt some of his own tokens as well. So that is pretty cool. I'm not sure how much Humpback Holder's holding anymore. I don't know if he's holding that much. Some people think he's still holding a decent bag, but he's probably holding some, but I just don't think he's holding that much. I could be wrong, but just based on the stuff I've seen, I don't really, not sure if that's the case. Anyway, so they're doing this burning. They said occasionally we're going to collect accumulation fees from Railgun. Of course, they're going to be launching their own, Pulsechain's Railgun contract, so that could really boost things up. Obviously, at the moment they're using the ETH to Pulsechain, so they're using the Ethereum contracts. This can't be done automatically because the funds are on Ethereum, which is where they've got the Ethereum railgun they're using at the moment, held in a shielded balance. In other words, it's hidden. After setting aside a portion of the fees to cover gas costs and railgun relayer fees, we'll use the rest to buy back and burn Peacock, which is pretty incredible. So there we go. Expect some surprise big burns from time to time. Now, they were in the top wallet on Peacock. They were sitting on, I think, about 70 or 80 million tokens, and they've been using these tokens to redeploy into LP pools, right? And I think the last time they did a big move was only, a week ago, was it? And I think they moved about 30 million coins or so, and I think they moved it to, I don't know, was it to Ethereum? I think it was Ethereum. I'm going to go back and check all this stuff, but I think it was Ethereum, and they setting up LP pools and trying to get the arbitrage, cross-chain arbitrage working. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Now these guys are pretty exceptional at capital management, so we're watching out for those benefits as well. We don't really get to see them, but that I'm aware of, but that is pretty cool. Expect some surprise big burns from time to time. So there we go. So instead of burning tens of thousands of Peacock each day. Now it'd be interesting to see what their average is. Like if we go back to when they had, actually we might do that, go back and look at the average. We can work that out. And I'm just guessing, I'm going to make a guess, but let's say 70,000, 50, 70,000, something. I even changed my guess, but 50, 70,000 peacock a day, maybe. I don't know. I should probably not say any guess because it's just guessing, but it's probably something like that. But I'll try and do an average, and we'll get up to that. Anyway, so that's kind of interesting. So we're watching that, and I say, if they can move to hundreds of thousands of tokens a day, man, that's getting some serious power there right now. Because you've got to remember, if you're burning 1 million peacock, that's $10,000. So that would suggest that your fees are $10,000. So if you get enough volume and enough products, popularity, and you start getting into those sort of numbers, then the price has got only one direction to go, hasn't it? Up and to the right. Now there are a couple, decent holders, but and there are a few PDI bros in the top 10. But we'll watch out to see how that goes. Interesting stuff. All right. Now scroll back up from here. What else? Let's go up here, right? Now 11 hours ago, they have talked about launching this, right? So they've finally launched their own block explorer. It's a specific block explorer. They said initially this explorer is dedicated to tracking all cross-chain transactions going through our protocol between Pulsechain, Railgun, and other blockchains. As the protocol grows, we may expand this scope to support more use cases in the future. And of course, they've got scan.libertyswap.finance. So this will end up going on PLS Start. So you guys know PLS Start is from Frank White. Frank White was in earlier. If you're still watching, let us know. But this is his site here. It is probably the best by far. There are obviously some of the data sites have ecosystem maps, but this is probably the most comprehensive, most up to date by far, I would say. And you can see it here on PLS Start, and that's all the Pulsechain projects there. There's probably a lot of legacy projects that are missing, perhaps. No, Frank White can talk to that, but this has got most of the ones that are pretty active operating, and you can see there's lots of categories there. So that's kind of cool. Maybe it needs an AI category. Let's do AI and RWA, Frank. AI and RWA. You probably have some duplicates from some areas, perhaps, but not much at this stage, I would say. So Pulsechain ecosystem map. And bam, we'll go there. Right. All right, so that's the map there. Bam, bam, bam. Right. Let me move forward here. So that's LibertySwap. So they've got their scanner, and let's go jump to it and have a look. How we're doing for time? Now in 17. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right. So they've got the other products at the top. That's kind of cool. My transactions. If you got your wallet connected. And they've got their Explorer here. So there we go. That's ticking away. All the transactions. I'm saying we're looking at 34 minutes ago, 29 seconds ago. So it seems to be pretty up to date. And that is focused, like they say, it's dedicated to tracking their all cross-chain transactions going through their protocol. So specific Explorer to their stuff at the moment. So all these transactions are going through their blockchain. Awesome. Yeah, that's great. What transparency is that? That's so good. Someone's doing a lot of 200 million pulse transfers there in the last 30 minutes. That's interesting. What else? USDC. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty incredible. That. So there we go. Now, presumably, this is none of the shielded stuff, presumably, right? This is all the, I don't know. We'll see. Don't have enough time to check all that sort of stuff, but who else have we got in the chat here? I think that's it. Have we got another comment in there? I don't know. All right, so let's jump away. That is pretty cool. So I hope you guys like that. I will. I'll hit the. I don't know. Am I going to hit the repost on that? I'm not sure. 23,000 views. Maybe I should. They've got another launch as well. All right, so we got 11 hours ago. Users will be able to access their wallet and perpetual prediction markets directly through ZKP wallet, web wallet app. And this is what we're expecting, right? So this is where we're going to break out, Pulsechain break out into the tokenization space in a big way, because we're going to have perpetuals and prediction, obviously markets together. So we've obviously got prediction markets, but perpetuals coming. So you're going to be able to buy commodity stocks and hold them in your wallet on Pulsechain. And that's cool. That's great. That's a big deal. We're catching us up, and it's still early in that whole theme, right? Most DeFi trading will soon be moving towards web apps. We cannot depend on the fragility and limitations of app stores, because app stores do these reviews and put all sorts of hurdles in the way. We know what these guys are like. So ZKP wallet app is ahead of the trend. Yeah, so they're going to be able to do updates all the time. Now, this is basing on Coinbase here, talking about Google. Google will prohibit Chrome extensions that enable real money prediction market transactions starting August the 1st. So there we go. Now, there are a lot of scams out there, but all the valid products get taken out as well, right? So hypermarket from LibertySwap, which launched recently. All right, so what else we got here? 10 hours ago, it said we're excited to announce the latest CKP wallet web app upgrades. So that featuring in-wallet cross-chain bridge between Pulsechain and other chains are really powerful, right? Really great. I mean, it's a great thing there. No front-end fees on there. All LibertySwap fees are used to buy back and burn Peacock. Safe DApp connections for web apps and dApps. So obviously trying to avoid getting scammed for phishing and everything else. There's a unique feature that sets us apart from most wallet web apps on the market. Typically do not support third-party apps or dApps. And there we go, app.zkwallet.com. Let's go look at this. Oh, it's not showing up on mine. So I've got these security things, so that's probably why. But anyway, you can see the video there. They've got the homepage, send, swap, bridge, receive, shielding, and then the apps in there. They've got the app page there, so that's what they're showing on the video. Very cool. What did I say about that? Yeah. Right, so let's repost that too. They're getting a lot of reposts today. What else? Let's scroll back up here. 9 hours ago, users will be able to observe the transaction in real time. This will demonstrate our speed and our capability in processing a huge number of cross-chain transactions across all supported chains and railguns, while reducing the support work for their team. So that is from them. What else we got here? We got a few more updates. Why crypto on-ramps are broken. So we got a little breakdown from that. So you can read that. We're not going to read that in particular. Very interesting, but let's see here. Let's scroll back up here. So we got 6 hours ago. Peer XYZ. So Peer is this DeFi, I believe, from Base Chain. That is like a DeFi on-ramp, off-ramp, and Prevex. So they're going to bring Peer is coming to Pulsechain. So that DeFi on-ramp, fiat gateway, I guess, and then Prevex, of course, which is a ZK zero knowledge proof from Prevex, the peer-to-peer from Richard Hart, can both bypass browser proofs and extensions, verify ZK proofs with AWS Nitro, and settle transactions in 300 milliseconds instead of 30 seconds it took in the past. So obviously a massive speed upgrade there. The tech is getting better. So there we go. That's highlighting that. Kind of cool. So that's all coming. We're expecting that July, right, for Peer. Just more stuff around their wallets. We'll just move past that. See what I mean? They're reposted DeFi and Pulsechain. So, great job to Neil and all the guys. Really doing a great job from True DeFi and being consistent and just pushing that along. You can hear a lot of the, active leading sort of project DeFi teams, either small teams, medium teams, or large teams coming into the DeFi on Pulsechain. So it's all relative to Pulsechain size, of course. But they're doing some great stuff there. So definitely well worth checking out there from Neil. I've reposted that as well. So it's 12 reposts. So that's cool. If you're out there, guys, you're watching this content, definitely repost. It make a big difference with the network effects when you repost, Pulsechain influencer stuff, whether it's X space. We've typically had like maybe 5 or 6 consistent X spaces. I think that's down a little bit at the moment, but DeFi on Pulsechain, they're definitely one of the key teams there, really contributing a big time there, so people get educated around projects on Pulsechain. And if you're watching some of the influencers, I mentioned maybe half a dozen influencers before, definitely hit the repost on every single show. I mean, it really does make a big deal spreading around, and you're only pumping your own bags at the end of the day and getting people educated on Pulsechain during the bear market. What a great time to pick up Pulse right now, right? In my view. So you can decide whether that's truth to you, but I think it's looking pretty good right now. Craig, morning all. Hey, great to see Craig. Big shout out. Welcome to the community. One of the regular members, Craig. All right, so that is pretty cool. So lots of stuff happening there. Pulse Guy. Now we talked about these quad vector projects around LibertySwap. And Pulse Guy is one of those. Pulsechain trenches need reigniting. Everyone wanted a terminal and created fees for pump tires, so we delivered. So now they got PG terminal to XYZ. Oh, and there's also a bridge on there too. Simply bridge, create, trade, and earn all in one place. Time to onboard the masses and kick off a Pulsechain meme season. Now, we know that LibertySwap there teased that yesterday with the new product announcement, essentially. They've been teasing it, but they actually showed it on their roadmap with the buy and burn. We'll go back to that. But now we've got this PGC terminal. Now, these are part of the quad vector projects. Presumably same people maybe. It's all pretty complimentary. So this is their PG terminal here. Bam. So you have to log on there, but pretty cool. It's got Telegram trading bot as well. So that's from just the Pulse Guy. maybe we'll try and look at that at another day, but that is out there too. What else we got here? Zapper. Yeah, I'm going to save that to later, so I might end up reposting that, and we'll have a look. Got to do a bit more checks, but there we go. That is all the news from LibertySwap. Now we're still expecting, of course, the fiat on ramp there, so potentially centralized exchanges, cash, things like Cash Apps, Venmo, and of course Peer, this DeFi solution, coming to Pulsechain with LibertySwap this month. We're obviously expecting spot and perpetuals coming that will bring on commodities and stock trading and holding that in your wallet on Pulsechain. So that's going to really be a big deal. We've obviously got Liberty Dex coming back, being speeded up basically. So it's coming back. There's more fee earners there. And there's one or two other things. Oh, what's the other ones? I'm just trying to remember. There's one or two others that are coming as well. So it's going to be a big month for LibertySwap. All right. Now I was just going to scroll down before we move on for LibertySwap because we're going to have it on for time. We're around 25. So I think we're going to go for at least a little wee while. We're going to go down to the previous update from yesterday. So that's a few announcements from them today. Let's scroll down here. We're almost getting there. This one here, right. So they announced what's coming next. So they got the in-wallet swap is coming. So that's going to be ZKX wallets. So it's going to be more fees, right? A lot of fees there, but like internet money with time swap, revenue. In-wallet off ramp at the ZKX wallets. So it's obviously coming. We talked about that with Peer technology coming and all that. And then Liberty Perpetuals, which we know are coming, spot and perpetuals. And this was the new one, right? We know they teased all this stuff, but now they got Pump for Fun Launchpad. So we're excited about that coming up. So that's the new as well. These will all be expanding the DeFi system. The Liberty X will be coming back, and they've got Hypermarket right through powered by Hyperliquid, right? So the ecosystem is expanding at a rapid rate to knots. Further down the line, we're aware of Liberty Lend coming. So I believe that's going to be an Aave, modified Aave, but could be wrong. But I think that is. And then we've got potentially they talk about decentralized stablecoin. They've been teasing that as well. So maybe we get some sort of make a contract or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens in there. Ticking away. So that's just some of the stuff. Now, remember the key thing about this is like if LibertySwap is a big river of multi-chain flows, and we can see that now on LibertyScan, right, just ticking away. With their transactions, obviously, then we could see. You're basically planting all these DeFi businesses along that river. It's kind of neat, and it's a multi-chain river going in all over the place. Not just EVM chains, but Solana, SVM chain as well. So it's kind of neat. I love the business model. That's exactly what Pulsechain needs, is something like that. So onwards and upwards from there. All right, so that's kind of cool. Let's have a quick look around and see whether we've got some new updates from other big teams. So Brandon and SwitchX obviously build the tech. He builds projects for other people with his team, but he's got his own ecosystem rolling out. And I think he's going into tokenization and a big deal. So just like we're in LibertySwap launching spot and perpetuals, we're about to, I think, have a tokenization the beginning of a big move here on Pulsechain, which is a good catch up and also keeps us up to date with the best stuff out there. You don't always need to be the innovator. You can be a fast adopter, right? That's the other way, right? There's two ways of making value. Brandon there, we had some cool stuff here with his products. This was the big queue yesterday if you hadn't watched it. But I will have to reconnect it here. Maybe we'll play this again since we're doing a decent live stream today. Let me just jump back. I'll come back and we'll do that. Let me just set that up. Bam. And let me just get rid of that. I don't know whether I had audio on it, so I just got to reconnect it with the audio. So hats off, Brandon. Brandon's a really great guy. He's probably the most similar to myself in the way he talks about stuff and his skill set and things, perhaps. But does some great work, and he's now obviously leading the way with some pretty awesome things. And I think he's got a few surprises for the Pulsechain in store. So it's got to be another leading team on Pulsechain. Basically, we talk about Kraken, obviously. LibertySwap being the Kraken. Brandon's bring the big game too, from the looks of it. So we're excited about that. So let's get into that. All right. So this is what he posted yesterday. Let me just play this video. I'm going to put myself on pause. It's not very long, so try and keep attention because it's going to come straight out of the gate.
I will say this about SwitchX.5. SwitchX as it stands now, and this could change in the future, there's going to be a real world asset conversation at some point on Pulsechain, and we're going to be the first people that are part of that because our DEX is the only DEX that is constructed in such a way that's actually going to be able to support that.
I was very excited by that yesterday when I heard that. So I was like, really, that's really cool. I'm not sure let's see what people have said. Anyone said anything about that? Yeah, not too much on that, but that's kind of cool. But he's posted some more today, so I think that's pretty cool. He's obviously, he's got Switch, which has really brought just a great DEX aggregator to the market. One of our, I would call, 4 big blue chip ones. We've got a lot of smaller players that have launched some really good sites, so we're going to talk about them too. I don't want to, shy away from those, and some of those might end up being one of the bigger players, taking more market share in time. So we've got Switch simplicity and ease of use are key. Limit orders, a feature long desired for Pulsechain. It finally arrives smoothly, supporting projects built by trustworthy people. So obviously got that out at the moment. There obviously is alternatives, Red Squirrel Swaps doing that as well, but it's pretty cool. Now, let's see here. Obviously more around Switch and update there. It's got another interview there from the looks of it. We'll probably try and catch up with that. Now, interesting enough, building off that video that he put out with that interview about Switch being ready for tokenization. Well, we've got him posting about that 3 hours ago. Tokenized assets growth is exploding. So he's obviously, got something potentially coming down the line. You could interpret it 2 ways, that he's going to support projects coming up, but really it's LibertySwap's kind of the only main player at the moment with the spots for perpetuals coming up. And then therefore, maybe he's doing something himself as well. Now he can, go with these foundations and use technology out there as well and use that to support it. So maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe he's decided to create something himself because he's got his own development team. Obviously, they work on third-party projects as well, but maybe that's in play. So there's lots of different potentialities, but definitely looks like we're about to have tokenization and spot and perpetuals hit the market in July. I'm not sure what Brandon's timeline is. Maybe it's August. I don't know, but he's definitely just given us a few little blues clues there. So potentially 2 teams, but what we call blue chip teams on Pulsechain, moving us into tokenization and spots and perpetuals, which is damn exciting, right? And we certainly wouldn't want to miss that train. So it's going to be cool, right? So tokenized equity saw a record 3.4 billion in volume in the month of June. This marks 280% month-over-month growth and 49% year-over-year growth there. You can see the growth by month going from 117 million last July all the way up to 3.4 billion in June this year. So massive jumps. And of course, I said to you, last time it was like, this is kind of the seeding here, I would say last year, going to December 169. So let's call that like a seed phase. And now we're in takeoff phase, right? It's a takeoff phase right here, particularly now. And then by next year, it's going to be pretty mature because you're probably going to be looking, $1 trillion plus market in the old crypto. Remember that the main player in traditional markets, DTCC, which is basically what they describe as the piping system for traditional markets, is going to be all in on blockchain by October this year. So it's a massive jump. They do trials and then they do major rollouts, and then suddenly, bam, everything goes on. And they got 114 trillion under management. So you wonder why we get to this $1 trillion mark. Well, it's all suddenly happens, right? And we've got this big step up. That's why value on chain, Ethereum, Solana, etc. It's going to suddenly re-rate, right? Because you're going to suddenly have this explosive move with tokenization. But we don't just have tokenization; we also have this AI boom with AI payments and commerce and things like that. So, and that potentially just is a boom in wallets. So we'll have dramatically more wallets and humans, kind of thing. So that's where the digital ID thing comes in. Although we're against that because people just abuse that. But that's pretty interesting. So I think that's pretty cool. Interesting. I like that. All right, so we'll put a little smiley face in there. A little smiley face there. All right, cool. It's always going to be a bit playful, right? Always going to be a bit playful there. So that's Brandon. We're looking forward to that. He's got Switch X at the moment, Switch X5, our first V4 DEX with with automated liquidity management. So that's ticking away. We've got obviously faster duels coming along with Vouch 369, multi-chain, multi-collateral fork. We're looking forward to that. I call that another blue chip, right? So anyone doing lending stable coins, it's in that category. So we're waiting for that. He's had an audit. It's been public tested, so I don't know. We're just waiting for market timing. He's got a few secret surprises coming up. He says he did say it's launching soon, not too long ago. Maybe it's a July launch. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. I don't want to, it's up to him at the end of the day. But certainly he's looking at the Pulsechain sentiment and waiting for perhaps for a bit of a turn of events. Maybe that's what he's waiting for there. Triple Dad, also another well-known Pulsechain community member running the Magic Carpet Ride ecosystem. You can see that here with Steakhouse, Bistro, and Buffet. They also, of course, a lot of front-end stuff from Liquid Loans with their liquidity fork, Liquid Loans, which is our biggest one at the moment, and of course backed by Pulse. They are now moving into doing their own liquidity fork there with VersaVault, which is going to be a multi-collateral stablecoin with a slight reflection tax as well, 1.5%. And they're going to have the reward tokens and lots of ways of earning yield. So looking excited about that too. I think that's going to be very, very cool with the old Triple Dad and that protocol coming up, VersaVault, hitting the market. And we saw that in the monster thread just in the last week or two. So very excited about that. We'll have more news coming from him, I'm sure. Very cool there. And of course, that means, if we add up these liquidity forks, we'll have at least 6 on the old Pulsechain, jumping from 4 to 6, and adding more power to the community there. All right, so that's kind of some of the big stuff there. Who else is doing stuff there? I'm just trying to think. Now we obviously got this this PLS start. So there's lots of projects on here, small, medium, large, relative to Pulsechain, of course. And we've got some heavyweight players, obviously like Internet Money, like LibertySwap. And then we've got, I would say we've got probably about 15, maybe higher, maybe to 20 blue chips relative to the size of Pulsechain out of this list. And then we have a whole bunch in the middle, and so the middle level, a lot of farms and things like that. And then we have a lot of smaller projects, very boutique, like Nuke Supply and RhinoFi, those sort of teams out there as well. Top performers in their niche category there. And so kind of cool, very cool. But just look at the some of the wallets here. We talked about SquirrelSwap here. We talked about Giga. It's got his own swap site as well. We looked at it the other day. So they're doing stuff. So I don't know if I've got Red Squirrel up here, but we'll try and do some cover here. Is it Red Squirrel? I'm not sure. Red Squirrel, is that the one? I think it might be one there. What's he got? Squirrel Pro. So this is I think Dex Aggregate as well, Smarter Trades. It's pretty nice. Like, he's done a great job with this. Intelligent routing, millisecond speed. So he's done a lot of groundbreaking stuff in the markets. Not sure if he has this he's got NFTs, RNG flow, etc. So we will probably do some more coverage of these sort of things. 13 Dex is one interface. So he's got the Pulse6 there, 9mm, 9-inch, PDEX, PHUX, Liberty V3, SwitchX. So it's got all the main players in there as well, and lots of really huge features. Like I said, it's got limit orders also, so he's doing some pretty cool stuff there. So we'll probably do a bit of a look at that. Not sure if he's got any data here on the volumes. Let's launch the actual app here. See if there's got a data site on here. Let's just have a look at the volumes here. I'll just click OK. Stats. So there we go. So really nice site, SquirrelSwap there. So big shout out to Red Squirrel there. And let's have a look at the stats. So on Red Squirrel, boy, we're going. I was going to do a 1 hour 15. Now we're at 1:38, and then we're going to go to 2 hours, aren't we? We're going to. You guys hanging around? If you guys are hanging around, we'll be around for 2 hours here. Don't forget to smash the follow if you're loving the content. The largest Pulsechain influencer doing daily live shows, and we're doing it across 3 YouTube channels and on X Live. And of course, we also the Monster Thread weekly news is the official publication of the Crypto Night Show. And that goes out every single week. We're up to next edition on Monday. It's going to be number 62. MVS Crypto is the editor-in-chief of the Monster Thread. He's also the promotional lead for the Crypto Night Show. It is a professional publication, so we're doing all that. So we're doing live shows, publications, and we are trying to do more and more as we move forward as well during hopefully the bottom of the bear market here, and also for Pulsechain. So we're going to rise to the top as the bull market starts to take place hopefully on or before October this year. And we're hoping that's going to be the case. Anyway, what do we got here? So all-time volume. So all-time volume 31K. Like I said, we've got a lot of these beautiful niche DEX aggregators and swapping sites, and this is one of them, right? So you can see it's very quality done, really, really lovely. And so lots of tech in it and lots of services, and very nice to look at, right? So it's kind of cool. And Red Squirrel's a long time Hexkin Pulsechain kind of guy, I think, from memory. And so awesome stuff. We got total volume $31,000, and we're at their volume over 24 hours 810. So ticking away there. Total swaps 1,235. We've got swap fee there, a very modest 0.1%. So it's actually lower than probably a lot of other players. Typically, 0.27 or so. It depends on the DEX and everything else, but that's pretty cheap. DCA orders there, dollar cost average 44. People using this dollar cost averaging setup there. And we've got limit orders 90, limits filled 18. So limit orders filled there. Nuts roasted. So I don't think nuts is the token, is it? Nuts is there. Well, it's a squirrel, right? It's going to have some nuts. But what's that? 36,000 nuts as well. So kind of cool. So this is kind of neat. We might maybe even try and get Red Squirrel on the live stream here. But definitely we'll go through this regardless in the future there. Lots of cool stuff from Red Squirrel there. So, we've got lots of cool things out there. Now, the other one, of course, is Giga. Now, I'm not sure if Gigas must be on here somewhere. Where did I find Red Squirrels there? Squirrel Swap. Where is that? Thought it was here, down here, wasn't it? Red Squirrel. Where did I find it? Yeah, I found it straight away, and then I lost it. Oh, there it is there. Squirrel Swap. I'm not sure which one. Let's just go find it anyway. Let's go to Giga's land. So Giga's a long-term community guy in the X spaces as well, sort of a trading guru kind of guy. I'm not sure if we're going to find him. Giga something. Just not coming up today. Giga something. Anyway, so we had the DEX, didn't we? We saved the DEX. I'm just not sure I can't remember what it was called. Umbra Finance. That's it. Umbra. Just give me a second and I'll think of it. Just think of there. So Umbra there, it's another one. These are kind of really good products, right? I mean, they're really nice products. Giga, of course, pretty well known in the X spaces. TA Guru, as I said, pretty good knowledge of Pulsechain itself and everything else. And so this is the stats. Look, so he's got a swapping site here, best execution Robinhood aggregator. Let's go to the stats. This is recently launched, right? So this hasn't been around too long. He's up at $283,000 total volume, all-time swaps, 600 swaps there, and you can see a big jump there. Someone just obviously used that, so it does depend on the usability, but had some big volumes going through there. Swap leaderboard as well. So ticking away there is Umbra. So there's a couple of these sort of niche DEX aggregators on Pulsechain. Not bad. All right, let us know if anyone else you are looking at there. In fact, I know what I'm going to do now. We obviously this has just finished the DeFi space, but big shout out to these guys. Again, we need obviously we need a lot of influencers on video, streaming on video, but also the X space is very important role as well. And so it's great to see getting Neil and DeFi on Pulsechain getting a lot of support. True DeFi, of course, does the 2x Pulse miners. With the SRE investment fund. It's kind of the first managed funds approach on Pulsechain. Neil and Daniel lead that, along with the executioner, I think, is involved. And so, it's pretty cool. And they're doing the DeFi spaces every week, getting some of the top people, top teams in there, which is pretty awesome. Looks like they've had lots of good comments too. Look at that. So, MVS from the Monster Thread in there. Boy, he's going all guns. So nice one there, MVS. Look at that. Wow. See, MVS works hard, man. You guys don't know. He works hard. He's the promotional lead for the Crypto Night Show, also the editor-in-chief of the Monster Thread, and he is working all the time, I can tell you that much. Give him a bit of, if you're not following MVS, give him a follow. Give him a follow there. He's just hit over 5,000 followers, so he's getting up there amongst the ranks as well of community influencers. Emmett Farm, calling all Pulsechain to join the builder space. We've got Xavier. Xavier's in the top 3,000, maybe 2,000 influencers on X. He's got 536,000 followers, so one of the big influencers there. He's a big supporter of Pulsechain, and we big shout out to him. So very cool. Nice. Yeah, we got LibertySwap in there as well. Giving support. It's great to see the repos from LibertySwap. really supporting, what is, I think, a proven X space on DeFi on Pulsechain. And yet another episode of DeFi. Yeah, absolutely. These guys are coming. So got Radon team in there as well with Crypto Bro. If you guys remember Crypto Bro doing Radon, definitely been one of our popular DeFis in the past. So lots of good stuff happening there. Isn't that cool? Lots of other people jumping on the bottom there. Not bad. All right. Now, I was going to quickly go, since we're doing a mega live stream now, we're going for 2 hours. We've got 15 minutes left. We've got 12K in the house there. I love EHEX. Yeah, EHEX is good. I love EHEX too. And also, I love the debate about parity as well, because I think that's a great debate. And I think the game's not over on that one for sure. We've got, so that's going good. Now, I want to quickly go to Kairos, Emmett Farms. The farms, these are the leading farms, leading yields on Pulsechain. And this guy's done an amazing job. So Kairos, leading the way. Not just on Pulsechain, but I think globally, he's led some really great initiatives with sustainable yield on farms. So Emmett Farm, arguably one of our, probably the top farm for yields on a consistent basis. There are some very good other ones, obviously True Farm, Nexian and places like that. But, just doing innovation around, stablecoin yields, collaborations, getting all the best pools on board, doing airdrops in the Telegram, really fostering communities and other projects, really open-minded, all that sort of stuff. So, big shout out to Kairos, and doing sustainable emission rates. I mean, really innovating their NFTs, now doing blockchain, blockchain for NFTs, where they've got their own sort of blockchain running. It's, pretty neat stuff. So, really cool there. You can sort of see a lot of the schemata there for Emmett Protocol. Look at that. Isn't that cool? That's brand new too, by the way. That's a new one there. When did you put that out? 28th of June, yeah, not too long ago. Really cool. So nice stuff there. Single-sided stats. So look at the stats on Emmett Farm. $154,000 in EDI reward so far. Isn't that awesome? Still got almost 10,000 and sitting in the drip pool or whatever. Yeah, pretty amazing. So nice there. Over $500 per average user so far. So pretty awesome. 289 people using it. So really cultivating during the bear market a really good community there. And that has been a real key success, is this Emmett single-sided staking, where you earn EDI, so you're earning a stable coin. So very supportive of value long-term with modest Emmett inflation or yield reward. So very spectacular there. So big shout out to Emmett. Definitely one of the places to go if you're looking for high DeFi yield, but also take into account if you're going into non single-sided staking, you still got the Emmett value and everything out, impermanent loss, normal farm considerations. I've got the hiccups to start as to consideration. Now, I remember this video from Joshua was just hilarious, right? I don't know if you've seen it, but let's play this video. That's hilarious here. Hopefully the audio is going to be fine. I'm pretty sure I got the sharing there. Let's play this. This is hilarious. This is Joshua Wu, really one of key comedic personalities on Pulsechain. So let's hear from the
Emmett Farms.
All right, let me just mute myself first so I don't get any feedback.
Emmett Farms is the most successful yield farming DeFi platform in the world, and it's not even close. While we were all fighting over shitcoins in the trenches, Kairos has been issuing hundreds of thousands of dollars through his farms. With a 5% fee, 4% goes into a single-sided staking pool and is issued in stablecoin to users. 1% gets burned. $375,000 has been issued to users in the first year. Oh boy. Kairos has been focused on building protocols, but now it's time for some collaboration. Emmett is a $400,000 market cap coin with $228,000 in total liquidity. Emmett or eat shit. Emmett Farms is the...
All right, so you see some high comedy there, and that video was very funny. So, that's Joshua Wu. Obviously, many of you will know him. But pretty good stuff, coming from Emmett Farms. So, big shout out to them. Always appreciate all the stuff that Kairos does for the community there. All right, so that's one of the cool ones there. Obviously, Neil and the guys are doing True DeFi. I do want to get them on stream again to talk about their latest stuff. They will be expanding omni-chain, so presumably to bring back value from other chains. So we're looking forward to that as well. So we'll try and get at least one or two of the team members there from True Farm, also in running the True Farm, right? So True Farm, I think we've got the True Farm up here, True DeFi. So True DeFi run this big ecosystem here, but we're just going to focus on the True Farm. It's obviously using Emmett Farm technology. Is this coming up as well? Yeah, it does. Thank goodness for that. So, this is True Farm here. And yeah, I just want to get into a deep dive on True Farm and bring that up. I'm going to try and get one of the teams to do that. They've got launched TrueDX there for these 2x miners. But definitely I want to catch up with them as well. So True2x. What else? I think that's kind of some of the cool stuff there. How are we doing for time? An hour and 50. So we've got 10 more minutes. Should we go all the way to 2 hours? I think so. Let's do that. So let's just think through some of the other people that are doing some stuff. So we've talked about Ramp Now. Let's go find Ramp Now. Ramp Now, of course, is doing another wallet. So we're going to have, probably 4 big wallets, I would say, that people can use. So we're excited about these guys. Have been doing a lot of stuff on fiat on ramps, obviously. One of our main on ramps. I think we've got about 30 ways of on ramping the Pulsechain, somewhere around that ballpark. And they've also recently bought us Hypermid, right, to help developers to bring capital, fiat capital on ramps. Other teams can use as well. So yeah, Ramp Now is a real asset. The fact that the few interests have promoted it so far. Yeah, so I've talked about it, of course, on regular occasions, not as much as some other projects, but certainly on a regular basis. So it's not like, I've been, I think, pretty consistent there. Sell crypto, get euros in 10 minutes as well. So as I believe it, they're kind of the cheapest fees that they have for this kind of way of on-ramping for the old Ramp Now there. So yeah, pretty cool. But they got their wallet coming. They got a wallet coming as well. I'm just trying to get down to where the last update was. Maybe we'll bring that up. Maybe it's another stream that we're going to do. But they obviously do a lot of swapping there to multiple chains. So pretty awesome stuff there with Hypermid. Yeah, we might do more stuff covering that. The other one, of course, is Alex McFurter. We got Alex Jones there with the live stream. Alex McFurter. Is it going to come up? Have I spelled it wrong? No, I've spelled it wrong. Alex McFurter. Is that right? Yeah, there we go. All right, so he is doing another wallet too, which we know is Cabby Wallet. He's also working on another thing called Signum protocol as well. That's coming to the market, so we haven't really talked about that much, but that's also coming. We'll talk about that too at some stage. What's going on here? Capybara snoring. How about that? That's funny. All right, so no, he's doing the Cabby wallets. Let's see, up here somewhere. Sigma, he's doing Sigma as well. But I want to get to the Cabby wallets. Where is it? Here it is. Here. So Cabby early website is up. Cabby X account, and of course that is coming. So it's a modified Ravi fork as well. And we're excited about that. So we've got Cabby wallet. Let's see what the last update was. 12th of May. Update soon trademark. But the website is up already. So we'll quick look at that. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? So it's all pretty nice. All these websites looking very nice. Install Cabby, try for Pro. So yeah, I think that's quite the Cabby isn't launched yet. So there we go. I like that. There we go. That's coming to town, and so we're looking forward to that as well. So we're going to have lots of good wallets. It was a complaint around Pulsechain just not having enough. Obviously, Internet Money does a great job, but people wanted kind of a Ravi experience. So now we've got two at least, and we've got ZKP as well. So kind of neat there happening in the wallet space. As you can see, we've had a bit of a DEX and DEX aggregator boom, both large and small. We've had a wallet boom is coming. We're in the midst of a wallet boom, and we've also got a lending boom and stablecoin boom coming, as well as tokenization, RWA, and we've got a Web3 boom on the moment on Pulsechain. So those are all big value plays adding to Pulsechain at the bottom of the market. So you've got to be excited about that. Very cool. So there shouldn't be any, should be reduced complaints and not so many complaints about not having this and not having that, not being able to read tokens, have US dollars, all sorts of stuff should be disappearing very quickly. So kind of cool. Kind of cool there. All right. So yeah, we're trying to get to that. Obviously, he's also doing Signum and yeah, Sigma, I should say. A meta post there, so that's cool. It's got lots of posts on that. What else has it got there? Yeah, doing a few interviews as well. All right, so that's kind of cool. And as I say, LibertySwap's got this pump tires project coming down the line. I think it's going pretty interesting. We'll look forward to that coming as well. So there are a lot of projects coming that are going to add a lot of innovation in the space. That said, we've still got a big area of AI related projects that we can expand into. Obviously, tokenization looks like it's about to take off, so we're about to enter that with at least a couple of teams, and hopefully that it continues to expand. We've also, obviously got a few, maybe one or two real estate tokens on chain. I just don't know how advanced those all are in terms of tokenization. One of those is Curve, of course, CRVE. So we'll just see how that goes as well. So good stuff happening overall. All right, we're up to an hour and 55 minutes. I was going to try and get the 2 hours, but I think we'll finish there. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show, and don't forget to hit the repost button. And we're going to try and cover a lot of these smaller, medium teams moving forward as well, because there's a lot of stuff happening in that space, as you guys could see. We just did a bit of a teaser of that today. But don't forget to smash the repost button there. We've got 3. Are we going to get 4? We're waiting there. Let's see if by the time I finish in a couple of minutes, are we going to get 4 in there and get the repost on there? Like I say, if you're out there watching content, you're on X. We've got a decent crowd on X at the moment watching. Smash the repost button, share it around, and we're out here every single day. There's a lot of other influencers out there on a regular basis, and of course the X Spaces as well. And of course, you guys play a big role in adoption on Pulsechain. So it's a win-win all around. So smash it out. And of course, the Crypto Night Show essentially, dominating the daily shows for the large influencers. And we're here virtually every day. Obviously, a couple of days off here and there for certain reasons, but every day here to covering Pulsechain through the bear market and the bull market over 6 years now. It's a pretty big, awesome time. We're sharing the journey together, and we'll make it in the end. That's the play. We'll make it in the end there. We're still doing, $2.5-3.5 million dollars of volume, and sometimes we get up towards 10 million. So still there, still fighting along. We've got lots of developers launching lots of the best stuff, and so I think we've got a 14x in volume uplift if you inverse the price relationship, and so it's a good time to DCA probably at the moment. Now you always need to do your own due diligence, not financial advice, but I think we're going to get there in the end. So base case is looking good for me on Pulsechain, and I go through all the value projects that are launching to support that base case. Price charts definitely changing in structure, and we've still got a few wild whales out there, but I think we're getting there. And we've got a big value project protocol uplift happening as well. So we're documenting that in our live streams. And the other thing, of course, is that we may have the magic, base case plus magic. Magic is, of course, Richard Hart. We'll see how that plays out in the future. Last year, of course, I always reiterate, he has made a lot of chess moves since the beginning of last year. And he is also subject to the market. He's not bigger than the market, so he has to wait for ETH to get back up it as well. And we'll be watching out for that. We're watching out for that in the future. Now, the only question I have, of course, is really around the roadmap and / hard forks coming up. We haven't had any yet, so we'll see whether Glampstam is enough of a catalyst and whether Bretep has been given a tick of approval for that upgrade. So we'll keep looking out for that. I have followed up with them. We'll see. Maybe some other influencers out there can hit him up. And see what comes of that. But we'll be hunting that down for the upgrades as well. It is a sort of a potential value uplift for a catalyst for Pulsechain. We obviously want to keep up with the best technology, and we're downstream of Ethereum. And we've already got the battle-tested hardware from the 10th of May 23. But any super upgrades there moving forward would be great as well, because as we know, Ethereum's pivoted quite a lot to commercialization moving forward. And so we want to ride that wave too. All right, I'm looking forward to Brandon. What's he got up his sleeve with the tokenization? Come on, Brandon, we're looking for it. We're following that journey, and obviously we'll be covering that as well. So good stuff coming. All right, hope you guys enjoy it. Yeah, we're almost at 2 hours, 1 hour and 59 minutes. I guess we've got 60 seconds to go. So I don't know, what can I chat about now? I don't know. We've got this beautiful ZKX wallet. I mean, look at that, beautiful stuff. And that's going to be the wallet of everything. I guess that's a way of finishing the show. The wallet of everything, guys, is coming to Pulsechain. It's rolling out rampantly, and it's going to have some major additions this month. spot perpetuals, fiat on ramps, more buy and burn, magic, and in-wallet swaps, etc. So it's going to be pretty exciting. Next month, I think it's going to be another big month too for LibertySwap. They're not slowing down. They're not slowing down. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Take care. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, and I'll catch you again tomorrow. Bye for now.